Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to talk about rational zeros theorem today. You will need a pencil, calculator, and your notes, of course. This next slide, let's not write down, okay? So don't write this one down. What happens when we are not given a factor or a hint for a polynomial like yesterday's assignment? So we're not given like an x plus 3 and we're supposed to plug that in. We're not giving anything. Our goal today is to find a way to solve polynomials that can't be factored. Alright, here we go, ladies. To find that hint, this we have to write down, you guys. We have to become educated guessers. We're going to use rational zeros theorem. Every rational zero, or our solution, okay, our possible solutions are going to come from P over Q, where P represents the factor of a constant, so that's our in term. And Q represents the factors of our leading coefficient, so that's going to be our very first term in our polynomial. And a little vocab review. We are going to be working with rational, irrational numbers today and tomorrow. Imaginary numbers we're not going to work on until next week. Alright, here we go. First example. First thing we have to do is we have to look at our factors of the end and the beginning. So we have to find our P and our Q. So our P comes from the end. So we're going to look here at the end. This is my P. So that's what I'm going to put up front, 8. My Q is the beginning. That's my leading coefficient, 2. That's where I'm getting that from. Now I need to figure out what the factors of these numbers are. So the factors of 8 are 1 and 8 and 2 and 4. Those are all of my factors. Now I have to find the factors of 2. Well, my factors of 2 are just 1 and 2. After I have this done, I need to compile a list of all the possible rational zeros. So in order for me to do that, I need to go, okay, what's 1 divided by 1? Well, it's going to be 1. Now, we can have positive or negative answers for all of these. So I'm going to have 1, negative 1. I can have 2, negative 2. 4, negative 4, 8, negative 8. Now I have to go back through and divide by 2. So 1 divided by 2 is going to give me 1/2, or I could have negative 1/2. 2 divided by 2 is 1. I already have that. 4 divided by 2 is 2. I have that. And 8 divided by 2 is 4, so I already have those. These are my possible zeros. Now, not all of them are going to be there because this right here, this 3 tells me there's only a possibility of 3. I have a lot more than 3 here, but these are possible. These narrow the field for me to look in. Alright? So another way to write this, you guys, how I'm going to write it from now on, I'm just going to put that plus or minus in the front, put it in brackets, and then 1, 2, 4, 8, and 1/2. That will let me know that they're going to be positive and negative, okay? So a little bit less writing for all of us. Now to continue on with example number 1, what we have to do now is we have to start taking educated guesses. We know what our possible zeros are, now we have to find one that works. So we're just going to start, we're going to pick some guess. I'm going to start with x equals, I'm going to guess negative 2. So I'm going to put in negative 2 here for my x equals, and then fill this out just like I had before. So I have my x cubed, x squared, x, no x, and then I plug in what I know. In front of my x cubed is 2, in front of my x squared is negative 5. I have negative 14 and 8. First one, we need to make sure we drop it. So we have 2 here. We're going to take negative 2 times 2, which is negative 4. Negative 5 plus negative 4, we're going to get negative 9. Negative 2 times negative 9 is going to give me 18. which is going to give me a positive 4. Now, negative 2 times 4 is a negative 8. Here, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to get 0. That is what I want. We want 0 to be there, okay? Has to be 0 because we're trying to find our zeros, ones that work perfectly. So we have to end up with 0 here. That makes us happy, okay? Once we have this, we can rewrite it. If we rewrite this, we're going to get 2x, we go one lower than this, so 2x squared minus 9x plus 4. Now we're still not done here, so we can continue to do the synthetic division and guess, and if we guess something wrong, we'd have to do a lot more work, or we can just use AC method. This is a trinomial. So we can take A times C added up to B, so we have 2 times 4, have to add up to negative 9, so 8. So 2 factors of 8 that add up to negative 9, negative 8, negative 1. Then we're going to come over here, we're going to rewrite this. So we're going to get 2x squared minus 8x minus x plus 4, and then I can put it into my box right away. So I have 2x squared minus 8x plus, minus x plus 4. Take out my greatest common factor. Here I'm going to get negative 1. Here I'm going to get 2x, x, negative 4. So here are my factors. My factors, I can't forget about this one right here. That's the first one. That's when I guessed and checked and found. So my factors are x plus 2, 2x minus 1, and x minus 4. Now if I want to find my zeros, all I'm going to do is set each of these equal to 0. So x plus 2 equals 0, 2x minus 1 equals 0, x minus 4 equals 0. So x equals negative 2, x equals 1/2, and x equals 4. These are my 3 zeros, which I need. I need to have 3 answers because my largest exponent is 3. There's all of example 1. Now we're going to move on to example number 2. Last example of the day. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, we have to start by finding all of our possible zeros. So we have to do P over Q. P over Q. P represents our our constant, our n number. So we have 9 over our leading coefficient, which is 2. Now I have to take all of the factors of 9 and 2. So the factors of 9 are 1, 3, and 9. And the factors of 2 are just 1 and 2. So all of my possible zeros, so it's plus or minus, we're going to put them in here. 1 divided by 1 is 1. 3 divided by 1 is 3. 9 divided by 1 is 9. And now we have to do the same thing with our 2. So I'm going to get 1/2, 3/2, and 9/2. These are all my possible zeros. Remember, they can be positive or negative. Once we know our possible zeros, we can continue on. You guys, it's the same problem, just moved on from some more room. So I have all my possible zeros. I need to pick one to see if it will work. So when we get here, I'm going to pick a new one. I'm going to guess x equals negative 1. Plug it in here. X cubed, x squared, x, no x. Plug in what I know. I know this is going to be 2, negative 7. There is no x, so I put a 0. And 9, we can't forget about that 0. Plus that first one, make sure we drop it. So we get 2. Negative 1 times 2 is negative 2. Here I'm going to get negative 9. Negative 9 times negative 1 is 9. 9 plus 0 is 9. 9 times negative 1 is negative 9. And lucky us, we are going to end in 0, which is what we want. That makes us happy. To find a 0, we have to end our last part here. There can't be a remainder. It has to be 0. Once we get here, we can take what's left. So I've got 2, and it's going to be x squared because it's 1 less than that, minus 9x plus 9. From here, it's a trinomial. We're going to use AC method. So we're going to take a times c, add it up to b. So 2 times 9 has to add up to negative 9. 18 has to make negative 9. If we break that apart, I can do negative 3 and negative 6. Once I find my factors, I'm going to rewrite it. So it's going to be 2x squared minus 3x minus 6x plus 9. Put it straight into my box. 2x squared minus 3x minus 6x and 9. Greatest common factor here is going to be a negative 3. Here we're going to get an x. Here we're going to get 2x and a negative 3. So now, remember my factors. I have to make sure that I have all of them. My factors for this one are going to be, we can't forget about this. It's going to be the opposite of that, so it's going to be x plus 1, x minus 3, and 2x minus 3. Now my zeros, the answer I'm looking for, those are my zeros, is when I set them equal to 0. So x plus 1 equals 0, x minus 3 equals 0, and 2x minus 3 equals 0. So my zeros, my answers are going to be x equals negative 1, x equals 3, and x equals 3 halves. Those are my zeros. Those are my answers that I'm looking for. All right, ladies and gentlemen, just make sure we're avoiding errors. Be sure to list all possible zeros, whether they're positive or negative. And not every zero is guaranteed to be a rational zero. So your list might not actually consider all of them. Okay? So just something to keep in mind. So make sure we list all of our possible ones. And that is all I have for you, ladies and gentlemen. Enjoy your wonderful day. Bye.